Hello, everybody. Thank you for watching. I hope you're having a blessed, peaceful Memorial Day weekend. It is the American Doofus Show. Don't be a doofus. I'm your host, Barry Welsh. Yesterday, we had a live restream of activities going on in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Second Amendment march by a united group of several different groups of mostly black armed protesters. That's how it's been termed. And there was a point where a confrontation was taking place, nothing violent by any stretch of the imagination, but nonetheless between protesters and police. As we've seen hundreds of times, if you watch this program, we've seen confrontations between protesters and police hundreds upon hundreds of times in so many varying locations. And I bring it up simply because the electronics, especially the live streamers that were using cell phones, the electronics were I personally believe they were being messed with because everything seemed to happen to most of the streamers at the same time. It's not hard to do that technology wise, and it's probably technology that most state police departments have, if not most large cities. So I do have footage from what happened once that altercation began and following that altercation. And that's what I'm going to be playing here in just a couple of minutes. Again, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. I'm probably not going to give a lot of commentary. I'm just going to let this kind of let you see what happened. I'll be up here as far as I know, and we'll just let this roll. And here's what happened once the altercation began. Again, if you're just joining us, this is basically what happened after the march was stopped, and most streamers lost their footage. So just to document what happened after the march encountered the 3 or 4 police officers waiting behind the barriers. Compton Finest Solid, thank you for watching. Thank you all for watching.
And when it's our We got a coon in the building. We got a coon in the building. Let the man speak. Let the man speak for himself. Let him speak for himself. What's up, bro? This is the problem right here. We hate each other. We ain't coming down none of. You know what? They already brought down the shit that we did. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
Pausing it here just for a second. Not hear what the man is saying in the white hat or the white T-shirt. That man is the one of the organizers of the festival that is going on. It is it's called a Legacy Festival, and it is a festival commemorating the 1921 massacre in Greenwood in Tulsa, Oklahoma, the section known as Greenwood, also known as Black Wall Street. So the person that's yelling "coon" is coming from behind the camera, and I'm not sure if they are going to be shown or not. But again, if you're just joining us, this is footage that from the 2A march yesterday, as part of the National Black Power Conference that was held in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we'll talk about it coming up in a little bit. But let's go back to the I just wanted to kind of set the stage. Also, I want to mention that earlier in the video that we have up here on this platform, and I think go see the great. I think his video has the female captain, the black female captain, police officer that came up and said she was going to go back to her car and get a written copy of the law that was stopping the march from moving forward, because despite being an open carry state, there was a local ban on open carry within that festival. And she never came back, as you'll see in this footage. So just wanted to kind of set the stage. Salute to you, Wolverine Jones. Always got an eye on Louisville. And for those that don't know, it's been 1 year and 2 days since protesting began over the death of Breonna Taylor and sparked by the murder of George Floyd. And Louisville's still doing it. They set the memorial up in Breonna Taylor Square during the day, and then they take it down at night so that the city won't come and remove everything and destroy it. So while they're not in the streets by the thousands in Louisville at the moment, the movement goes on.
That's right. We built everything in this facility used to be a black man. That's right. Right. And that's why we here, brother. That's why we here, brother. That's why we here. He said he was the sleep. That's right.
Again, we're just fully documenting what happened in Tulsa yesterday to show that there was no violence, no confrontation, no fires, no rioting, no looting. So no need for reports of those nature, which will come out of this. Know that they're not justified, and everything's documented as far as what actually happened. Again, the police officer didn't come back, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure why they didn't just go around the festival and regroup on the other side of the festival and continue their march, or why they actually turned around and started heading back, because no law was ever really formally presented, which was what they were demanding as far as what's documented. And it's actually just it's similar to a lot of other completely peaceful protests we've seen, except they're armed. They're not blocking any streets. They're walking along the sidewalks. They're walking on the sidewalks, not blocking the streets. A lot of the same chants, even that the call and responses we hear at other protests. So actually, outside of everyone or a majority of the people being armed to the teeth, not a lot different than what we've witnessed in the past. And thankfully, it was peaceful, and we're going to continue to document that.
And this is not related to there are a lot of different events going on down here this weekend, and I don't know which direction we're going to get to at the moment, but we will all find out. And so some of the attendees are reporting seeing various law enforcement types on buildings and bushes, etc. This, the official start time for this was 4 o'clock, but I would say we started walking to downtown around 3:45. And if you've been watching the video for a while, you've seen that this is a pretty large group. So this is the path that we walked earlier when we were walking into downtown. So as you see, I'm kind of.
So again, they're on the sidewalks. They're not blocking the streets. They're not. They're not doing a lot of the things that we see in other protests. Everything is not threatening, other than the fact that they're, like I said, they're armed to the teeth. So if stories start coming out, and you know they will, of the destruction and whatever in Tulsa, it didn't happen. Kelvin Black, yes, I do too, and I will let her know. I miss her. I miss her presence on the show, and I will let her know. Again, this is a peaceful demonstration, if you will, and a lot of different gun clubs. Huey P. Newton Gun Club, Fred Hampton Gun Club, the Geronimo Pratt Gun Club was the official host, I believe. Black Panther organizations. It is a sign that that some factions in the Black militant community that don't always associate together can get together for one common cause. So for those that question, you know, what did this do? It did that. As far as the numbers, again, they were overwhelming numbers. If they wanted to march through that festival, they could have easily marched through that festival. Overwhelming numbers, and as I've said many times when talking about the NFAC, the number that showed up was enough. It was enough to show that unity can possibly happen, and I think that might have been the purpose. If not the purpose, it was at least one of the outcomes. And I mention this because I was hearing stuff before this. I was told this was going to happen back in the beginning of March, and I haven't said anything about it because, well, quite frankly, it's none of my business, and I wanted to get out of the way. I didn't want to be accused of whatever that I've been accused of in the past. Being an agent, being an informant, being whatever, all kinds of race hustlers, all kinds of crap. And so I didn't mention any of this. I felt the best thing for me to do was get out of the way and let this and let this happen, because the people that watch this show that are members of the Black community, they knew about this. I'm almost 100% certain from various other sources, and there wasn't any use for me to spread this among the white community. So that being said, I was told this was going to make, in fact, look like kindergarten. I was told, what's going to happen is going to make the country and the world take notice, and that no one's ever going to mess with us again. And, there was a lot of that kind of talk going around before this started. So expectations were high, and I don't know if they were met. That's not for me to decide, but it's just something to think about. Everything was peaceful. Everything was I guess peaceful is the most appropriate word, because I'm sure that within various factions that, there were mumblings and whatever. So the fact that it was peaceful, again, and there was somewhat unity with all these different groups coming together. But a lot of these groups came together under Grandmaster Jay and NFAC, because Grandmaster Jay said that. I think the problem might have been that Grandmaster Jay tried to encompass everything, and he was like, play chess, not checkers. He was king of the chessboard, and that wasn't necessarily the feelings of others. But anyway, that's beside the point. You can see the numbers, you can see the flags of the various groups that came together. And again, everything was peaceful on all sides. And is this the kind of show of force that will make white supremacists go, gosh, I need to crawl under a rock? No. Keeping it real. No. But is this like the NFAC formations? Is this a sign of hope and Black power and the possibilities that the Black community can indeed make significant progress if the white community just GOTFs, gets out of the effing way? Only time will tell. So again, thank you all for watching. I'm going to keep it going here for a few more minutes. And if anybody has any comments, if you think what I just said was doofus, hey, that's the name of the show. I do love you all for watching, and we'll keep this going. Again, an example of them being incredibly law-abiding. So, reports to the contrary, proof that there's a lot of fake news out there.
Yes, before we get started here, I believe the original plan was for the group to go to Greenwood itself.
Everybody out the street. Don't get
But
out
the area is within the perimeter of Legacy Fest, which does not permit open carry. And I would guess that we did not get to go into Greenwood on that basis. And so we are turning around and walking in directions that the party wants to go. If you all had watched earlier in the broadcast when I was over closer to Archer Greenwood, you may have seen a little bit of that interaction go down where we were talking about how far we could go. And because I've gotten questions about this, yes, this was billed as a Second Amendment march and marketed as such during the permit application process, for which they were approved to participate.
Normally, I give credit, as everybody knows, to those that we share their work with. All I know is this is a little redheaded white girl doing the announcing, and I don't know who her cameraman is, and it comes from Tulsa World. Actually, that's the girl right there with the backpack. That's who you'll hear occasional commentary from, other than myself.
Yes, there's a gun club in Central Texas flag. Y'all are looking pretty so who's participating today. I believe they're one of the lead organizers, that Austin group.
Now, I need to point out that very few of these people that are actually marching with weapons, very few of the people that partook in that march were from Tulsa. These are people that have come from across the state and across the region to commemorate the 100 years since a tragic event known as the Tulsa Massacre took place in Greenwood, section of Tulsa known as Black Wall Street. It was deemed Negro Wall Street by Booker T. Washington, and later changed to Black Wall Street because of the success, the affluence, the wealth that was being accumulated, and led to the suppression of many families and the death of between 300 and 3,000. They're not really sure. Honestly, counting the number of black dead wasn't a big concern back then. They know an exact number of the white dead, and that's just stating facts. So here you get an idea of the numbers. And I think what he's saying over the microphone is true. There are people that will remember this day forever. Seeing the site of this formation in downtown Tulsa on the 100th year. It's not an anniversary. It's not something to celebrate. It's something to remember, because if we don't remember things like this, they get brushed under the rug. And there will be people that will remember that because they never thought they'd see it in person. And that was one of the impacts of the in fact rallies that Grandmaster Jay led. Simply the show of power. But now, because of in fact last year, and because of those shows of power, this may be in some people's minds less significant, because it's it didn't advance anything. And from the outside looking in, I get that, but within that community, it might have advanced things. That's not for me to say. That's not for me to judge, or me even to have an opinion on. But to me, the most important thing is that it was totally peaceful. It was peaceful. Not only were there not, let's call them counter protesters, but peaceful in that it didn't pop off, if you will, within that group. And got a few more minutes here as they're coming towards the end, and we'll go back and watch that. If somebody has questions or comments or anything directed at me or to me, get them up there, and we'll talk for a couple of minutes when the video ends.
Like they were in the streets. So we'll see if that materializes. We'll see. But I will be here for the day.
I mean, I got a lot of good quotes. I just don't have any names.
Okay.
So I'll see if I can talk about the organization.
Okay,
Unless you think I stick around.
I'm not sure. I know we're supposed to be going back to the originating point of Latimer and Detroit for the parking. We'll see. We'll see. Yes, thank you. Yes, I know y'all can hear. Sorry about that. We've got multiple people out working, and so we're trying to figure out planning when we're going back.
Okay. We really don't care about your planning. Sorry, that was rude. Thank you, young lady and camera person, for doing this. Otherwise, we wouldn't have this documentation, and I deeply apologize for that. Again, they're making the turn here back towards where this all started, the staging area, if you will. And there was another march a little bit later in the late afternoon, early evening. That was a reparations march. That was a brief reparations march, and I don't have any footage of that. I think OC the Great might have footage of that, so you might check his site. So let me hop over here into the chat for just a few minutes as we let the video run out. And there's OC right now. He just walked past the screen, oddly enough. Puffin, Paris, Link, Albert, Pat, Gamma Ray, Ruby, again, Compton, Maccabee, Kelvin Black. Thank you all for being here. Thanks for the comments. Tyree, thank you. This is the very end of a Second Amendment march in the section of Tulsa known as Greenwood, and also still known as Black Wall Street, despite the fact that most of the businesses are not Black owned anymore. It's more of a historic name, I believe. And this march was the National Black Power Conference. The National Black Power Conference underway and ended today. And again, OC the Great was there, and go to his site, go to his page, OC the Great TV here on YouTube for more footage of what happened, including some footage of some meetings before this march. So that's basically what we're showing, is that nothing happened. So we've got it all documented so that that when the stories start getting spread, no matter where the sources are, that you can show, um, you can point to the fact that it's fake news. Here's the real story from the ground. There's T-Rex. I had a concern about about counter protesters using vehicles and then claiming they were victims. And I too am glad nothing along those lines happened, because in Oklahoma, the driver of vehicles is not going to be held responsible for striking protesters with their vehicles. Great Zeus. Let's see. I don't know why my font's so small. I'm struggling to read names. And comment, we breaking up gold teeth. Any such driver gets shot rightly. In this group, yeah, Puffin. In normal protests, not necessarily. It depends on where you're at. Now, in Louisville, they protect the protesters as much as they can. They police themselves, and they guard themselves. And many of the protesters in Louisville do carry. Yeah, in a group like this with this much armament, but at the same time, that leads to the idea of white privilege, and the idea that expands into even white supremacy, and the fact that I can go and run through them with my car and they're not going to do anything to me because I'm white and they're black. And that's an attitude that's been around for a long, long time, and a lot of ignorant white people don't get it. And there you see the flags again from some of the various groups that have joined together. RBG, the red, black, green. The old school, the OGs, some of the OGs, RBGs. Again, there was one other march after this on Saturday. I don't have documentation of that. It was a reparations march, but again, it was peaceful. It wasn't very long. This is a report I got from the ground. It was peaceful. It wasn't very long, and it was actually the police. Led that march. Police vehicles were in front of the marchers, and police vehicles were behind the marchers, and police officers were stationed along the sides of the marchers. So that's what we've got from Tulsa this weekend. And if you're a race fan, Helio Castroneves won his 4th Indianapolis 500 this afternoon, joining a rare club with AJ Foyt, Rick Mears, Al Unser Sr., and now the Brazilian Helio Castroneves. They're the only drivers that have won the race 4 individual times. Anybody have anything? Anybody have any questions for me, or saw someone shooting in a car in Kentucky for running into protesters. Actually, they Puffin, they did not shoot. They did draw their gun, but I don't think shots were fired. Both one of the protesters and the person drove the car into the protesters, then jumped out with a gun. So here's the actual end of the march. We'll watch that, and then I'll say goodbye. Parias, I'm not sure the name of the commentator or the camera person. The footage came across a site called Tulsa World. So there we go. That's the end of things. Hey, you're welcome. YouTube usually only lets me find right-wing restreams of protests. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how many of us are not on the right-wing side, so to speak, and how many of us actually restream protests that aren't on the right-wing side. I'm guessing not a lot, because it doesn't pay any money. And but boy, I sure feel good about myself showing the truth each and every night. I don't have any problems sleeping. I love you all. Thank you all for watching. It is the American Doofus Show. Please subscribe, like, share, hit the notification button. I thank you all in the comments. You're wonderful, everybody watching. I love you. Blessings to all. We don't do this for money, but I need money to keep things going. And if you can help out, Cash App $ American Doofus, AMERICANDUFUS. If you want to toss a couple of dollars my way. And if you want to contact me by email, americandoofus@gmail.com. I've got an episode coming up tomorrow. It is Memorial Day, and we're going to remember some things that happened in Indiana that haven't been taught in the history books. So until next time, again, thank you all for watching. I do sincerely love you all. Peace, blessings, namaste, shalom, salam, the blessings of Christ upon those that believe, and the blessings of whatever entity, deity that you choose. And for those that that don't believe, I don't see how we get through a world without some kind of faith. But if you don't, if you don't believe, good vibes to you as well. And if you're a hater, hey, I love you. Keep hating. Actually, stop hating, because it's just going to eat you up on the inside. It's the American Doofus Show. There's too much hate. It is a dark world. Try to be a light. Until next time, take care of yourselves. I love you all. Peace.